how do you think about your mindset, your space, and how do you create for yourself kind of like that path to follow your purpose?
I listen to my heart. Because I'm not an intellectual person. I came from the village. My parents were rice farmer. My grandparents were rice farmer. I was on the rice field running around with the freaking water buffalo, seeing my friends riding them and playing flutes and flying kites and so on. And so, to be honest, I'm intellectually ignorant, idiot in some sense. Mm-hmm. And so all I have was just being in tune with myself, perhaps, because growing up I was allowed to explore, and somehow I trust myself more. I think, now being reflective about it, right? Yeah. I think I trust myself a lot.
Are you ever afraid that you're trusting something that might be wrong, or?
Yeah, but we still have to do it anyway, because unless we try, we won't get good at it. You know, so there's level of it. In Zen teaching, they talk about being spontaneous. A kid is spontaneous, but it's an idiot spontaneous because it's not appropriate, right? I'm spontaneous now, but it's appropriate in a sense because then I keep doing it again and again. It's like, okay, I make mistake, but you gotta keep doing it until a point where say James Cameron can trust his spontaneity now even more than he was younger. But now there's a, you know, a kind of a kindness to it, mm-hmm. and an appropriateness that carry heart in it. So yeah, I just learned to trust myself, and I never thought of doing podcasts. I'm like, I don't speak well, I don't English my second language, I can barely explain myself. What podcasts seem so daunting, mm-hmm. and I was like, but you know what, there is something that asking me to do it, so I'm just gonna learn and be better at it, I guess, the more you do it, especially podcasts. Like, you're not going to do 5 episodes and get rich or get famous. You're just going to have to continue to do it. And this only way to do it is either you are called to do it, or it's missions to make changes or something like that, you know. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'll do 1,000 episodes. After that, if I'm not good, I give up. Yeah. You know, it was like after 1,000 episodes and you're not good at something, it's like stop doing it. Yes. Try something else. Wash car. Not that washing car is bad. I actually anyway.
So you mentioned working with James Cameron, who's a huge like role model for me.
Oh really?
Professionally.
Isn't he so beautiful?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up watching Terminator 2. And I was obsessed with the idea of having a big robot that was my friend when I was a little kid.
Your dream is coming true!
Yes.
Scary.
And yeah, so I remember, I think that's how I stumbled into your page. I think I was...
Oh, really?
I think I watched the film and then I was talking to all my friends about it because The Way of Water, honestly, is one of the most impactful films that I've watched.
Really?
And it's...
In which way?
I think because of the relationship of the father and the son, and the son trying to find his own way by not following in the steps of the father, but at the same time, he wants to honor his family. So that touched me in a lot of levels because I left my family to come to America, and I had a kind of a strange situation with my biological father. I had a stepfather who took me in and became my father, and I had to leave him behind, and I want to make him proud, but I understand that some of the things that he's trying to do don't match with how I want to live my life. And now I have a son, and I can see how much I love my son and how much I want him to be amazing. But I also want him to follow what I think he should do. And with the film, it was that sense of letting go so you can like let your child be their own person, which is something that I'm afraid that I'm going to have a hard time later on in life.
Yeah.
And at the same time, this need of like protecting your family and keeping the family together. And in my case, I went through a divorce. I don't live with my kids. So that touches me because I love them deeply and I want them to be close, but I can't. So like the film had, besides the mastery of filmmaking and how everything was like unbelievably beautiful and executed in a way that is like hands down like the master. Like you have probably one of the top 3 best directors in the history of cinema.
Wow.
At his peak, creating a piece that has a very strong story that touched my heart. So like I couldn't shut up about it for like 2 weeks.
We shouldn't. And I hear all these people saying, you know, it's not that good. And so I'm like, dude, just be grateful. Like it's a gift. Just be grateful.
Yes.
And that's why we do the same thing, you know. But anyway, James, make it a point to storytelling, you know, for him, his level of work. But as I was working with him, everything was to support the story. Even the stunt work, the actions that I had the honor of being a part of. I doubled Spider, the human character. All of his parkour movements, motion capture was, you know.
That was your movements with Spider?
Majority of the parkour action. We have multiple people doing water scenes for him. You know, it's like 5 of the best people doing one character.
His character was so like intricate and very interesting because like
how so?
Because he's trying to fit in, but he can't fit in. But he's as much of part of that community as the other kids are, but he's still not it. And
He can never be.
He can never be, and it's so sad. And I identify with him because I'm in America. I love America. I'm an American citizen, but I'm not American. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
It's like, and maybe something like that happens to you. Like, you live here, you work here, you are here. You're as bit as much of a citizen of this country, and you're providing all your talents and effort to live here and make a home here.
Yeah.
But you were not born here. You didn't grow up here. So like part of us will never be 100% from here.
Yeah, I did feel that to a certain degree now, to some point. Now I feel that what I describe is the feeling of being at home.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, okay, I don't have to identify myself externally, but it's about the inside. It's like, sorry, the inside here. And now I feel at home here. I can walk on the streets and not be afraid. I can talk to people and not be afraid, and know how to communicate and find my way around and be comfortable that I'll take care of my family. I'll make a living and I'll earn doing whatever, as long as I take care of my family and I have people who love me. And now it feels at home. So that's the only description. But I did identify with what you were sharing, which is feeling that I didn't fit in, didn't know English, it was hard to communicate. And I was always a leader growing up in the village. I was out and about, I was leading the school, and I was taught to be a leader, you know, by my family and my parents. And when I came here, I just lost all of that because of that. You know, I have to put on a wall to protect myself because I was afraid. You know, like a 13-year-old kid's coming from, how old were you when you came here?
I came when I was 21.
21. I was 13 when I came here. So right at the point of transitioning, you're like 13, Vietnam is now home, have friends and families, and way of life it's kind of settling in. And suddenly like boom, to a completely different world. It's like a newborn baby. I usually joke, I'm 33 now, so I'm 20 now in American year, because that's how long I've been here in this culture, right? So I identify with that. But finally, I can say that I feel at home here now.
Yeah, I feel very much at home here. And especially now living in LA, I love the city.
You wasn't from?
No, I lived in Tennessee for about 6 years. I went to film school there. And then I lived in Atlanta for a couple of years.
Right, you said that.
And then I came here. And you know, the dream was always to come to LA, come to Hollywood, work in film.
Movie and film industry.
Yes. Since I was a teenager, I started out acting. So
really?
I did a lot of theater when I was a kid.
You look good.
And thank you. And when I came to America, I was already like, I've been doing films. I had done a couple short films. I'd been to France to a film festival. I went back to Cuba. Then I went to Canada for a film festival, and I I ran away from the festival basically, and and came to the border and asked for asylum as a Cuban national, and that's how I came into America. And then started learning more film and like living here and like this is my home.
Yeah.
But especially Los Angeles, it's like the light is beautiful, the people are so creative, so passionate, there's so much variety, like you can find all people from all kinds of walks of life. So I'm curious to know a little bit more about you. How did you get into stunts, and how do you end up from a kid that comes from Vietnam, now you're doing stunts on the biggest film that has ever been put out?
Oh,
That's
an honor.
it, right?
An honor, a gift. It has been a gift. The older I get, the more I realize that whether you want it, you're going for a ride anyway. Because you think you have some kind of level of control, but you don't. You're going to go on a ride. And might as well let life takes you.
That's hard for me to let to accept.
To a certain degree. To a certain degree. Now, you have to have your foundation. It's like you cannot be James Cameron, just let life take you. You have to have intentions and talents and gifts and so on and developed it. But still, with all of that mastery, then you let that flow of life. Then you're ready. You see, it's not like it's something you earn. And the more you do at it, the better you get. And life can always make it better than you think you could ever do.
Yeah, that's the wonderful part. Like I could have never imagined how everything was going to play out.
Right.
Even for me, like as we sit here, I'm so grateful and so blessed that we are here. Even if we don't know, like, are we going to be here next week? Like, we don't know what's going to happen, but we put forward our best intention. I think because I'm a director and my job is to make things line up to follow a vision. I think that's why I have a bit of a hard time just letting go and like sometimes just being in the moment and letting things flow. How do you embrace that? Because I have sensed, like listening to your videos and your podcast and all that, and just like listening to your voice, it's like I feel that free flow and acceptance of what you cannot control, but you're still navigating life in that way. Tell me about that.
It's a dance. You know, you just kind of like move yourself and you just kind of feel the thing, and you just gotta, you know, it's actually about it. If you really want to do that, do some dancing, you know, dance and moving itself.
So I need to go dancing.
Yeah. Just go and do self-expressions, somatic, because then it helps your body kind of start trusting itself. It's like teaching the cells on a cellular level. You know, you're not doing it just with your brain, but teaching your body how to just relax. And then the more we relax and you know, it's not like most people say, if I just let life take me, how can I have control? How I can accomplish things? And how can I like do all these things? Well, you can still accomplish and set goals and all that, but you cannot lock away the possibility of magics. That's what something Preston and I was talking about when we were, episode 14 was Preston and I. Preston worked directly with James every day for 10 hours. It's 5 steps from James. He knows James better than most people on set. It needs his thinking, his way of seeing things. Preston is beautiful. You should have Preston here talking about that.
I would love.
But we're like, James always experiment. Always allowing magic to happen, even at that level, you know, and that's high level magic shit, you know. She's always experiencing. Okay, let's see what happened. Let's do a take. Let's see what happened. So you do 5 takes. Sure, you know, you have your why, your whatever coverage.
All your coverage.
Yeah, right. And then you leave room for magic to happen, and it always happens because you have prepared your people enough for it to be. At that point, they're like, okay, I can close my eyes and do the scenes, and then now it's just something magical happened. There's dance, there's this flow, it's spontaneous, and playing, and it's really come back to playing. Are you playing with your craft? Like high master level, always play.
Yeah.
You hone your skills then so that you can play, and in playing
I need more play.
Yeah,
Chien.
there's
like,
no
to
wrong
be honest,
in playing.
I just have to accept that. Like if I'm being honest, because I'm trying to build something, so I don't want to be playing. I'm pursuing mastery But I agree with you. I need to be more open to that. It's something that I have to accept in my life. Sometimes I'm just a bit afraid of, I get passionate very
Yeah.
easily with
Yeah.
new ideas and new things.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that type of creator or artist that always following the butterfly and like you never
I'm
finish
kind of
and you never finish something.
I'm kind of a butterfly person.
But I think we are in different like roles in the magic making.
Yeah.
You need to always be the butterfly, and that's your job.
That's my thing.
Yeah, my job is see the butterfly, grab it,
And then
let it play here, capture it, then let the butterfly go. But then I still have like another 9 months of like editing the butterfly performance so it fits the story. But that's why you're here. That's why I want to learn these things. I want to learn how to let go. And last year I started doing some meditations. I met someone that I really admire. His name is Rafi Antabi. He has this lounge in Malibu where so many people come together, and he teaches Qigong and like other disciplines. And I learned a lot by experiencing the letting go and doing the sound meditations and the sound bath, which I would never in a million years would have
Really?
thought that I was gonna. No, I'm like a go person. I'm not gonna sit there.
dude, congratulations, man. You found the magic balance.
Thank you.
That's it. Like, but you have to have that side. You have
Yes.
to have that still. Now I'm weightlifting every day. I'm at the gym every day
Nice.
to like bring back that because I'm very flowy. But there has to be a level of discipline. You get work done, you have to commit. Like the podcast is that for me. It's like, dude, every week there's one episode. Doesn't matter what you do. If you prioritize it, you better show your face and do the work and give out something. So that's kind of ground me in that like structure, but still allow within structure, you have free flow.
Yeah.
Right? Within our body, this is so much structure, but within here there's free flow, there's energy flowing everywhere. So they're not exclusive, they're all inclusive, yin and yang is like form and no form. It's just
That's beautiful.
that's mastery,
Yeah.
like that's when you accomplish mastery, that you can be so structured but at the same time allow the energy to flow and create itself. That's raising kids, right? You're going back to what you were saying, which is how do I protect my family, raise my kids and give them all the ethics and the work ethics and my mindsets and so on, yet allow them to explore. Well, life is self-doing. So the kids will learn itself, like, well, we're going deep here. Usually I go there, which is life is self-creating. Who created the earth? Who created the cosmos? Who created you? Who created me? Your parent.
Yeah.
It's self-doing. So your kid is self-doing. That's life learning about itself. And so, life know what the hell it's doing. Just trust, man.
So and I don't know if religion is the right word, but what philosophy of creation do you believe in?
Recently I joked with my girlfriend. I was like, growing up, people here have Superman as their, Spider-Man as their kids, like as their model. And Jesus was my superhero.
When you were growing up?
Yes, he teaches kindness. He teaches, because I was in Catholic, I haven't been practicing going to church and all that stuff, because I think it's kind of sucky when you have to do something. You're like resented.
Yeah.
But now, as an adult, looking back and talking to my girlfriends and hearing about R.C. book, Queenology and Kingologies and his work and so on and so forth, I was like, yeah. Jesus teach a lot of beautiful things, just being kind and stuff. So I was raised being very kind. I was raised with Jesus as a role model, and that has really influenced the core of who I am. Just, I want to be kind, man. I want to be kind to people, to other first, because I was taught that. But now I learned how to be kind even to myself.
Yeah.
Non-judgmental, non-beating oneself up and all that crap.
Yeah. How do you think we can practice a bit more of that? Because I meet so many beautiful, wonderful people who have this side of like a negative voice. that makes them feel like they haven't done enough, they haven't accomplished enough.
Okay, recently I've had a breakdown episode.
Okay.
Okay, so we still always experience that. But how fast do we like, oh, that's not the voice, that's true. Okay, that's not who I am. And the podcast does that for me. When I feel doubtful about myself and who I want to be, I listen to the podcasts and I cry listening to my own podcasts. Because at time, I'm not that guy that is talking that so beautifully. I want to be him.
But you are him.
Exactly. So it
You
grounds
just
me.
need a reminder.
Right, exactly, a reminder.
Yeah.
And that's it. We just need a reminder, whether it's good friends or people who we love, support us. I have my girlfriends, I have my group of friends, and the podcasts and the people around me that who believes in me, to remind me of that.
How do you bring that magic to your relationship? Because I see that you're very passionate about your girlfriend,
My wife.
your wife.
How that is the toughest frontier, because we're in such close quarter, and we have our own desire and passions and being. Keep trying, and just look back at the, iPhone these days do that a lot, remind you of the dates that you had together 5 years ago, and just looking at those things just kind of remind me of like, well, we really do love each other, like put all things aside, and let's just learn to work together. And kind of just like, damn, sometimes the ego kind of just like, I want control, I want to take over. But maybe just keep washing dishes, it will help put you in perspective. Jeff Bezos washed dishes. So you're like, I'm not this big guy, I'm not this thing, I'm still washing dishes every day. I love washing dishes.
You love washing dishes?
Yes.
Why?
It teaches me things,
I hate washing dishes.
Yeah. It teaches me things. I don't know, everybody have some things.
Yeah,
but
everybody
for
has their
me,
little
it's
thing.
like, just in my meditations. I don't know. I like seeing the kitchen being clean. It's like a metaphor for cleaning my mind, It's like clean the sink and then clean everything and it feels nice. My home is a small space, 1-bedroom apartment, but my wife and I making an effort to really make it beautiful and lighting, and she's great at designing interior stuff. If you get the honor to see her, she's gorgeous, and she's just have this beautiful way of decorating, and I really love that. She teaches me to live more beautifully. And when I'm in my space, I feel clear and feel clarity. Yesterday, we just do some cleanings and stuff.
Did you find love here in Hollywood?
Love? Yeah, because
you guys met here?
Oh yes, and we met on Avatar.
Okay. Tell me now I want to hear that story.
Okay.
From the beginning.
You golden, you're mining. Well, she worked. So on Avatar, we would have, Avatar is the first movie that have full vegan catering, plant-based catering.
Yeah, because James has his vegan company where they do plant-based food.
Well,
and
his
all
whole
that.
family, his wife and him realized that they need to change their lifestyles. And she, wrote a book called One a Day. I don't know if you read it.
I haven't read it, no.
But anyway, that's when I start to learn more about veganisms and all that stuff. And so the set cater that, and the chef of that show, that movie, which is Brad and Sandy, maybe you should talk to them too.
I would love
but they
that.
were the chef that catered to Avatar, and their son were James' private chef. And so they were invited to come and cater for the movie. So they're there every day feeding hundreds of people, have run a big teams. And my wife know them so my mother-in-law worked for James' family. And James know both my wife and my mother-in-law, and they were friends with the son and the son's parent, which is Sandy and Brad and Sandy. So they were all chef for James' family. And so they came onto the set and cater. And my wife then got invited. She just came back. She was transitioning in her life and just came back from traveling. And the chef was like, hey, come help us over here. They were family-like. And she was like, yeah, I'll come. And so every day lunchtime, I would go in there, eat lunch with everybody. You know, the whole crew were there, cast were there, and we were just eating in the room. And then I see her working with the catering team, servings and making sure that we're all taken care of. And it was like buffet style, you know, you have all the vegan stuff, you walk through and, you know, the whole deal. And so I see her working there, and, you know, she was just so beautiful, just gorgeous. She's Hispanic, you know, blue eyes and just gorgeous. I was like, I haven't seen such a beautiful woman in my life. And I'm one of those guys who's like, when my friends is inside the house doing drugs, drinking alcohol and making love, I'm out training parkour kind of guys where I don't know how to take people out, women out. I don't have any games. I'm just look kind of weird, you know.
You don't look weird.
I used to. I just wear like sweatpants and stuff. Now I'm like, okay, if I'm going to Axel show, I better show up looking okay. But you see me dressing, you know, you're just running on the street, climbing trees and so on. And so, so I saw her and I was like, wow. And I was like, you know what? Even if I could just be friend with this being, I'll be satisfied. I have no intention.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I was just like, I just want to be friend because I would be satisfied with that. But then things happens and we talk and lots of things happened and next thing you know, we're married.
That's wonderful. That's such a beautiful story.
Yeah.
I think so many people don't believe that love can be found out here in the, you know, the city of angels that everybody thinks
Not the way
that it's
everybody's
terrible.
looking for it.
Yeah.
You have to trust in the magic of life, you know.
You have to trust in the magic of life.
Well, that's a nice quote.
What does that mean?
That means trust that life will give you magic and you're there to receive it rather than you have to make it your own, because life can give you magic that is more wondrous than you could ever dream of logically, you know.
I love that. So what are your dreams and the things that you want to experience in the future? What kind of magic do you want to make?
More of these. Authentic connection with people while uplifting and empowering people. Reminding people of the magic of life. The miracle that life is. You know? 14 billion years in the making, and you're sitting here telling me you don't like what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then we start from there. Then we make changes, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's so much that is amazing. Like, why do people have to focus on the couple problems that we have?
Because we don't see it. We're not taught to see it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's consciousness, right? You're like, if you want to be an Oscar winner, you have to be an Oscar winner. You have to have an Oscar-winning consciousness, right? So it's like, Andrew, if you want to be a doctor, you have to have a doctor consciousness. If you want to be a king, or if you are a king, you have king consciousness. So it's like that thing they teach when you believe first and it will happen, you know. Like the consciousness is, I am an Oscar-winning consciousness. You go touch the Oscar, hold the Oscar. I have Oscar-winning consciousness because I was right there with the teams and holding the Oscar. Okay, so it's like, okay, it's normal to me. So then it's like, okay, once it's in your reality, then it's in your reality.
Yeah, I had that experience too. We went to the Academy Museum.
Yeah.
And now they have this experience where you walk in, they have a stage set with the camera comes around. You have a real Oscar statue there and you hold it. And I had that experience and it was very interesting. Like, it does make you believe that you are in range of achieving that.
Right.
And funny enough, like when I had that experience, usually my mind would be very plan, strategy, action, execution. And it was exciting that in that moment it was an experience and I was able to like enjoy that and almost be grateful that I'm even pursuing such a wonderful thing. And it's not, to me, it's never about, oh, I'm gonna win this thing, I'm gonna be famous and blah blah blah.
It shouldn't.
But it's not at all. Like that doesn't drive me, that doesn't move me. What excites me is, when I get to make a film that has a really good story that I know is going to be seen by people and is going to move them. I remember one of my, in every other film that you make, you have a different thing that touches you. And I remember that there is a short film that I made when I graduated film school, and it's called The Remembering.
The Remembering.
The Remembering,
The
yes.
Remembering.
And I'll send it to you. It's a very short
please
piece.
do.
And it's the story of a girl that dies, and she has like this split second in the afterlife where she meets herself in this all wide, beautiful nothingness space. And like this other version of herself is telling her, we're going to give you a chance to look back in your life and remember anything that happened. And you can send a message to any of those people in your life. And then she has a realization that the most important message she could ever send is to send a message to herself.
Oh, wow.
Saying, hey, like everything that you are going to experience is exactly the way it should be. Just enjoy all of it.
Right.
And be at peace.
Yeah, that's a difficult one, because let's say you're going through something really, really tough, right? Life just throw you a bucket of shit. How do you, how? How do we have that strength to go through that and know that it's okay?
Yeah.
Easy to say, we're sitting here in this lovely environment and, it's gorgeous, but someone is not having enough food to eat. Like, where do we begin?
Yeah.
So much of that's going on. Something that's blown my mind every time?
What?
Is I think about this fact. At this moment, light travel 7 times around the Earth in 1 second. And 100 light years spanned of that space is happening right now instantaneously. Every version of human being, every situation, everything that's ever happening throughout this cosmos, happening right now.
Wow.
That's mind-blowing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Someone's dying right now. Someone is being born right now. Someone is winning Oscar right now. I mean, not
Well, no. That's funny. Someone is making a movie right now.
Something. It's the whole cosmos is playing out right now. As least the human conundrum from birth to death cycle, birth and death cycles, and everything is happening simultaneously right at this instant. What does that mean?
Yeah. That's why I don't believe in religion anymore. Like when I started learning about that and having those realizations and trying to even grasp that concept, then I was like, wait, this is something, there's no way we could even start to explain and dictate.
Those who say that they know, don't know. It's the beginning of the Tao Te Ching.
Okay, tell me more.
Right. The Tao Te Ching is a wisdom book from Chinese wisdom, right? Written for, he was a sage. He wanted to leave the city. He was working as a librarian for the king. They asked, if you leave and you don't leave any wisdom behind, we're not going to let you leave. Wrote the book for king governing. Those who say they know, something like that. If you say you know, you don't know.
Yeah.
So whatever can be verbalized is not reality, because sound, words is not real. You cannot drink the word water. It's a sound. Water is a reality that you need to experience. So you, instead of experiencing life through your brain, you just experience it. That's what it means to be present, right? To like, that's where the creative aspects come from.
Yeah.
You are spontaneous of what's going on. Like I'm talking to you, but I'm like here. I'm aware of everything. Like I'm not gone. No.
Yeah.
Like breathing is a big part of that, right? Taking deep breath. Like I've been learning a lot about breathing. And have you read the book Breath?
I haven't.
Powerful
No.
book. Read
Yeah.
it. Wonderful. Teaching about the breath and how that's a heal is so powerful. People heal, and athletes like Olympian athletes like, have edge just learning how to breathe better, having more oxygens and.
What is something that people could do to get started? Like if there is one single basic thing that you know about breathing that you could share.
Breathe more. Be more conscious of breathing. Take often breath. During our conversation, I'm always taking breath because it's like it's so amazing to feel the feeling of my body being here. You know, it's like my cells are vibrating. I can feel my cells vibrating. Like just being present. It teaches being present to your body. Meditate. Oh, bring your consciousness from the brain to the feet, to your toes, to your butt, to your stomach. Yeah, and then Wim Hof breathing obviously is a powerful teaching. You know,
Yeah.
taking powerful breath.
Yeah.
You know, doing singing. You like singing. Singing requires more breath. You know, anything that helps you breathe more consciously, and it's beneficial. You know, people say that they have this thing where DMT release breath exercise that release DMT.
So when you
Or
that releases the DMT
Yeah.
particles.
You do that enough times, like it's like the dog. So a breath teacher of mine, which is he live in Dexter, Oregon, episode 10. If you want to do breath work, episode 11 on my podcast is a full 1 hour of breath work guided by him. He's a master, and he teaches that. And so he taught me every Friday. I was out there for about 2-3 months. Every Friday he guide a breath sections. So I had this practice, and we talk every few months. He's one of my mentor, and you know the importance of mentorships and stuff.
Yes,
people guiding you.
100%.
Yes, those are a few things that you can do for sure.
That's great.
Yeah.
So there's a little question that I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
Because you were there. What is the way of water?
What is the way of water? Oh my God, you're gonna get me talking for an hour on this.
That's the plan.
The way of water is gentle yet it's powerful. Water of giving, life giving. Without water, nothing happened. Water is life. Water is a miracle. Water is healing. Water is you. Water is the foundations of all things, of life. And it came from deep asteroids, deposited millions of years into as the earth formation, during the earth formations, high deep within the earth until volcanoes and magmas and stuff spring into the air and turn into, vapors. And water is a gift.
How can we be more mindful of that flow of water and I think you have talked about that already, but I just, when I watched the film, it was very, it was a mix of emotional and wonder and psychological and intellectual. How do you think we can bring that to our lives and make it more present so we don't miss out on that magic?
Take time to be silent. Yeah, so meditations, But being silent, I think.
Just listen?
Yeah, I think so. Because the noise can be pretty loud at most time. We stop for a moment, and we just feel the stillness. You know, a lot of teachers teach us everything comes from silence, from stillness. 99.9% of everything is empty, stillness.
Yeah.
Just silence, be quiet.
I struggle with that.
Yeah.
I don't like the silence.
You gotta fill it up with things, right?
I don't feel a need to fill a void. To me, it's more I'm so excited about all the things.
You can be, you should be, but still take time. You know, a minute is enough.
Yeah.
Presents don't need. You can't like hoard present moment. You can't hoard like now. You know, you only have it once instant.
Yeah.
What's happening. So, yeah, just take time to appreciate what's happening. You know. Because it can be busy. I was out there working for a company last few days, doing some, you know, filmings and stuff for the company. It was like a medical billing company. He's the father of Andrew, which is the episode that we listened today. He ran a big company out in Bakerfield, hundreds of employees, and he was like, "Hey, I need help. There's a big presentation coming up, and we need like." Gave me 2 days to do film, to edit, and then curate a presentation PowerPoint for him to present yesterday. And so it was like last minute stuff, and I was like, could not have time to think. It was just all have to go completely nonstop. And you know, movies is that, especially, right? When in productions, you don't have time to stop. And so yes, but still, even gym, every day, 30 minutes of quietness, silent after lunch. 1 hour lunch, 30 minutes to eat, 30 minutes to lay down.
Just wait.
And just let the brain do the work. You don't do it yourself. If you stop for a moment, the brain will help you do the work.
Interesting.
That's how you use your brain in a like higher capacity. You know, logical thinking is only so powerful, but then you have to let it through the subconscious, which is more powerful, which is the part we don't control, subconscious, right? And so, I don't know, I learned all this stuff from master teachers, books and stuff, and they talked about this a lot. And I started to practice them and also review my life, and, you know, just like an idiot, just kind of stumble upon it because I wasn't logically trained to think. I was trained to be here. Yeah. And movement is that. Movement art. I feel my body while I'm in the air flying. I know exactly how my body feels and where I'm at. There's scenes, okay?
Yeah.
So the whole scenes is based on built environment, on blocks and different wooden structure. You've seen the behind the scenes stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And those are the environment that map to the 3D environment in Pandora. So they are building blocks of all kind and screw in by screws and stuff like that. This is a real set now. So I'm flying across the set at, you know, at my full speed. And if those things are not drilled in properly, it could be very easily dangerous. And I was flying in the air, landing down, and the block tipped. And in a scene where it was a chase scene, they were in the forest, running away from the guy shooting them. You know, was getting captured when they first discover Courage coming back. You know, visiting that scenes with the skull, and the kids were like, you know, boogie coming in, was flying across, and the block tipped it because it wasn't drilled in the hole completely. But somehow my body, I trust myself so much, I let the body do the work, and it responds so beautifully that I wasn't hurt. I wasn't, you know, and that's mastery level of trusting. That's real trusting. Trust that you have done the work, and let your brain do the work, let your body do the work, let the thing that run your heart do the work, let the thing that run your brain do the work. Not you, who is Axel, who have all this planning, which is necessary to a certain extent, then you had to hand it over and honor that part, and that's where the magic come from.
Yes.
Coming back to that.
Yes, I think I love that little space when it's on the set to capture something. The place where I have the struggle is outside of the set, like in the day-to-day life of me trying to, like, you know, that's the part that I need to learn how to flow better. And it's just because part of me feels that if I let things just
It's
go,
scary. It can turn to shit.
Yes, and it's almost like I feel like I'm not putting in the effort to go. But when I'm on set and everything has been done, you know, like you have done all your prep, you have your people, and then it is what it is. When we're
You
there,
earn it. You earn
yeah,
it. You earned.
the light is gonna be there and you cannot change it. And then the actors and the thing that you have to do, and you only have so much time, so this is it. So then I can flow beautifully. And I actually enjoy that moment a lot. And like you said, you do see how your mastery reflects when you hit those little moments. And I think it just comes by putting in the work, like
Yeah.
so many years before. So I was curious, and I wanted to ask you, what was your experience like, and what would you recommend for young people who want to do what you do, who want to come to LA and work in big movies like Avatar? What is a piece of advice that you would give them?
Really love what you do. You have to love what you do. And then put in 10 years of work. It's just like, you know, the best of both worlds. Put in the work, but make sure you love what you do and it feeds you. And you would want to do it day in, day out. And not even trying, because that was what parkour was for me. I just, in the morning, people were going to work and going to school. I was doing parkour. 8-hour days. That's my day, you know. So love it, and then you know, find communities that support that. Right, stunt community. When we're in community, we're in the vibe, and everybody believes that that's what's going to happen. So that's just what's going to happen, and then they will support you, and then trust. You see, that's important too. Then trust. You do your work. You prepare, you do your work, and then you trust. I'm not saying you don't do the work, you know. I'm writing a book. I have never written a book in my life. This is a tough task. But some inspiration come to, I have something to say, then I'm just going to do it. I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to do what I need to do, and then I'm going to trust that it's going to work out. Or even if it doesn't work out, it's okay. I try. I trust. And then keep trusting. And that's it.
Do you think people have to be here in the city to succeed?
It helps. It helps. You know, different vibes give you different. LA is creative, like you said. LA is really beautiful place for meeting people like this. And just suddenly, I didn't expect it to happen. And here I am with you doing something cool and making new friends. And I know that we're going to be good friends because I hope we can continue to be in touch and share our work and support each other. You know, because now that being here, I'd honor your work.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, it helps. Come to LA if you're doing films and find a group of people. You know, there's different vibe for different things. You know, but LA definitely creative, things like that. Meet people from all kind of worlds and really beautiful weather, of course. Yeah.
I want to do a little bit of story time and get into like the specifics. So you said trust, love what you do, put in the work.
Yeah.
But let's say now the person is here in LA and they're trying to break into the film industry, work in movies, work in TV shows as a stunt performer.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit of the mechanics of how do you get, because I know there are unions, and then you need to find your first gig, you need to get trained, you need to know the right people. Tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, from my experience, I don't know if it changed or not. I'm SAG-AFTRA, you know, I'm in the unions. Unions, if you want to make good money, you go in unions, all the big jobs are in unions, so that's a must. So
how did you join SAG?
I joined SAG-AFTRA by trusting. I didn't know that I'm going to be in SAG-AFTRA, but I knew that that's what I needed it. So that was my goal. Now, how it happened is magic. Okay? So, you know, just saying yes to all the jobs that come my way, saying yes to projects that need my gift. You got to give your gift. Whatever it is that you do, you got to give it. And the more we give it, the more it comes back. So I keep giving it to whoever asks me, wherever I'm needed, wherever I'm in a service with my talent, I will serve. I will be there. And I would keep doing it. And obviously, the more you do it, the more reputation you gain. I got with stunt people, friends who do stunt. Make friends with stunt people, of course. You know, that's another part. Make friends with stunt people. Text me, you know, learn, be the best at what you do and learn and text me and go to gyms. And so I become SAG-AFTRA by finally. Okay, this is an embarrassing story in some way, but I know you're gonna like this. So, hi honey. So a friend of mine who I help early, right, come back to giving, asked me to do a free project. I go on to indie films, you know, indie projects, and supported that project by being a stunt coordinator or was supporting a group of friends. They were doing indie, you know, it's like low budget film.
Yeah.
It's called Boone the Bounty Hunter. He's a WWE professional athlete.
Okay.
He's on there, and he wanted to act and be involved, you know. And so we all got together, make a movie. I was helping for free because I loved it. I loved the vibe of the movie. I feel fulfilled and purposeful and excited. When I'm in that environment, everybody is so kind and we're all purposefully working together to accomplish something. And it's a well-oiled working environment, and I get fed from that. And so I just work for free, and then suddenly one day he asked me, hey, there's this role on Children's Hospital that they need a last-minute person, and the actor who they cast for it didn't want to do it because it was quote-unquote embarrassing for the character, because the character it was an episode where one of the main actress trying to get pregnant or something, stealing all the best sperms in the bank. It was a funny comedy. Yeah, it's stupid. But then the role was like, this guy is a contortionist. He's also a parkour artist, and then he can move like nobody can, and he's Chinese. And I fit all the descriptions, except he needs to suck his own dick.
Wait, what?
Okay. He was able to. So it was implied in the episode. Imply, you know.
Yeah.
And so, but it's bad for his image. Okay, I know you're gonna laugh for years to come. But that's how I got my SAG. I was like, we need to tell him. I need to come in. So I was like, yes. And they tap hardly me, and I'm in SAG, just like that. And so
the key to enter SAG is to...
No, you do not need to know the SAG drone. Just say yes to opportunities and support people,
yes,
and things will happen.
I love that. That's the best story ever. That's hilarious. And it's amazing because people are not willing to like
do the work.
And you didn't really have to do anything.
No, it was just implied. It was like image.
Made up. You know? It's made up. It's movie make believe.
Yeah.
But I love that. And that's... Do you think that's because of like your background coming from another country?
Yeah, work
and
ethic.
You're like, I'll do whatever it takes. And
I love it because I love it. That's why you have to love it. You have to love it to say yes to some stupid image things like that. That you have no ego. When you love something, there's no ego involved. And the ego won't tell you to make the decisions like, yeah, that's ugly, that's bad for my image, how is these people gonna look at me and whatnot. I'm just like, okay, I'll do it. That sounds great because I get to do what I love.
That's awesome. So I'm curious to know a little bit more about the specifics of now your craft. So what do you do to get better at parkour, to get better at controlling your body, to get stronger? Like, what's your routine like in your training? And like, maybe what are you doing now? Because now you have mastery.
Yeah.
And then also for someone who's starting out, how can they get started and what are the basic principles they need to work really hard at to achieve what you have achieved?
I wouldn't say I have mastery it. I'm always student. I'm learning still. And it's gonna get shitty when you think you're a master. Don't believe that you're a master. Just know that I can get the work done, but I have so much to learn. Even the best master of the master think that way. So I'm still learning, but to get to where I am, go to gyms. There's a few gyms here. Joining old movements is martial arts, stunt people go there. Dance people go there. I go there sometimes because it's inspiring to see other artists dance and move. And joining movement means all movements are welcome here. Martial artists, triggers, parkour athletes, dancer, and whoever else.
And what's the name of the gym?
Joining all movement.
Right. Okay.
as well as tempest free running, which is pure stunt. And that's where parkour mostly. So, but to be in a movie, you got to be versed. And parkour is really great to help people become more aware of the environment. Throughout all those years of doing stunts, I never got hurt once.
That's amazing.
Why? Because I have that background. You know, to be on Avatar, you are demanded at a level where your life is on the line sometimes. And it's not a joke, so you have to have the skill set, and parkour really helped to become more aware of environment. Now, secret is in parkour, there's this discipline called flow. You literally practice your flow, combining different basic movement into a flow where you don't have to think and you just move through. And the movement is so fast that you move through your environment so fast you don't have time to think. You have to let your body respond spontaneously.
Okay.
Right? And that's mastery, is you got to be able to respond to spontaneous problems that arises during your sets and so on. So go to gyms like that. Make sure you put in lots of trainings and take it slow. Gyms always help you learn it better. But also weightlift, build your muscle. Weightlift is very important. I used to not weightlift and just do parkour alone, but I think it's crucial to do powerlifting, heavy stuff to build muscles and strength to help you not get hurt. So now I train my weightlifting. My flips is better and higher and more beautiful than I used to. The part of the reason why is, this is exclusive, Jim invited me back to next Avatar filming.
Okay.
We talk a little bit on the Oscar party, and he was like, I want to bring you back.
Yeah, well, because I feel like Spider's character is going to be massive, like on the next movie.
You think so?
Yeah.
Elaborate, yes.
Yeah.
Now?
Just watching the film, like the way it ended, like he's going to be key.
Right, leaving space for him. Yeah. So let's not get carried from that. Maybe next time talk more about that. But so yes, getting better. So put in the work. Go to gyms. Get in with different groups, Facebooks, Instagram. People that are passionate, still teaching people. I go to the park to learn how to sword work and martial arts from other stunt performers that want to give back. Shout out to gotta find his name later. But one of my mentors back in the day, I'll find the name and send it to you. But he's still teaching people sword work, martial art and stunt at the park. And that's beautiful.
That's great.
You know, giving back. And I think, you know, I'm called to do different thing now, but if I'm back to Avatar when I will dedicate some time to do that, teaching people. You know, the project has been in New Zealand for a long time now. So finally coming back, I'm reconnecting with a few friends now that's back in state, and introduce you to some. They're really good people.
I love that. Now for filmmakers, because we have some people who made films that watch the show, and in my case I'm learning, and that's one of the reasons I also wanted to learn more from you.
Yeah.
I've been doing a couple action scenes. I've been training Krav Maga on my own.
Oh really?
Yes, to like learn. Part of me is to feel stronger and better, know how to defend myself, but also because I want to make massive action movies and I want to know
it's fun,
like how things work.
Yeah.
So why can filmmakers who are trying to make films that have action, that have stunts, what can they do to either approach like people like yourself and be able to be at the same level, or like be prepared? Like what can I do? For example, if I call you in to do an action sequence, what are you expecting me to be good at and be great at, so we can vibe and be at the same level, so you feel protected, you feel like what you're doing makes sense and it's not like a waste of your time?
So find the right people for the right job, first of all. I have a certain styles of moving, certain type of actions. It might not fit what you're looking for, but yeah, find the right fit, have a good team. You know that is a teamwork things, and good communications, obviously. Director and people who are doing those kind of things, we have to be on the same page. Inform the person as much as possible on what's going on, because the more we're informed, the better we are at creating things together, right? Making feel safe. Allow me to have space to create, because we're all artists here, right? We're all creating things, and if you give the person, that's one thing that Jim's really good at. He respects people, right? And he find the best people and then respect them to do what they're good at. But then guide them, you know, just like, but give an environment for them to shine and uplift them and expect them to be more than what they're now. So I expect me to push my boundary. and make me better. But by doing that, we're all getting better and achieving something that is never been accomplished. And so respect each other's craft, give space, communicate really well, have the resources appropriately, never cheat on stunt, when actions, make sure it's safe, that's the biggest part of thing is safety. But yeah, making sure that they receive care about safety, taking care of people, do things that take care of people, they don't get hurt, so that there's longevity. If you take care of people, especially stunt people, movement, you take care of them. Make sure that they can come home to their family at the end of the day. Then they feel safe and they trust you.
Have you had any experience where someone in the team got hurt or something happened that was a bit difficult?
I work on Mulan, right? And I got hurt myself.
Really?
There was a scene where we were just all working, playing together, and I hurt my neck. Next day, I couldn't lift my neck. And this is important things for stunt people to understand, is that if you hurt yourself, do not have the mentality of, I'm a stunt person, I should have doesn't matter what, I'm going to work anyway over your injuries. But take times and heal. So I was, thank God I wasn't dabbling anything, it was a few month reshoot here in the US, they already shot everything.
Yeah, they were in Santa Clarita, like I was working on a show at Amazon.
I was there.
Yeah, I was there for another show.
Really?
Yeah, because we were shooting, when you come at the Disney Ranch, so you guys built the massive green screen and you had it was like a battle scene or something.
Right. And you were there.
Yeah, we were shooting, it was a show called Them for Amazon, and we were down, there was they have little houses at the Disney Ranch?
Yeah.
So we were like past
Whoa.
you guys. So I remember driving by, because we used to like go there and scout the location, and we shot scenes there, so we would have to go. Our base camp was outside, and then we'll go in and like shoot past the set that Mulan had.
Whoa.
So it was a massive, this is the biggest green screen that I've seen in my life.
Oh, really? It was big, because it was like that. The last scenes, they were trying to create the Great Wall, the wall things.
Yeah, they did like that huge.
Yeah. Anyway, hurt myself and decided to, no, I can't. I won't go to work. I'm like, I'm sorry, and they all look at me like, you're worse. You're not. And I'm like, no. Just taking care of my body.
How do you take care of your body, like on a day-to-day?
Now I just work out, eat clean stuff, but also allow rest. I don't do a good job of resting and sleeping, because I'm just like, get out, do things and do multiple things, and I find that suitable for me. But I cat nap often.
Okay.
Sleep's important,
Yeah.
So maybe I'll go take a nap after this.
Yes, I used to be terrible with my sleep when I was in my 20s. I was like burning the candle at both ends. I was sleeping like 5 hours.
You want longevity, you gotta.
But it's terrible. Like in the last 5-6 years, I've prioritized my sleep. Much better. I try as much as possible to be in bed early.
Yeah, your skin look nice. Your
Thank
facial,
you.
yeah.
My skin used to look terrible.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So self-care, especially for men. Let's talk about that, because I think that's something we don't think of very much. I think women have that on lock. Like they have all the creams, they have all the masks.
I know.
They do all of that. How do you think? I don't want to talk about the importance of self-care, because we all know that it's important.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the actual things that we can do. So in your case, lots of naps, healthy diet.
Yeah.
What?
Also, cheat day. Also, give you
Cheat day every now and then?
Well, for me now, I don't have a specific cheat day, but I know when I can eat naughty. I'm like, I work out all weeks, and I'm pretty conscious. Okay, I can have a burrito or something, like something heavy or something. I don't do cheese and stuff usually, but self-love. Just make sure you're not too rough on your mind. Some people need that. I don't know. For me, just like, I'm very gentle on myself, and like, you got it. Like, thank you, and be grateful. That's part of self-care. It's like, here, if this is great, but the here is not great, then it doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, go to the gym. For guy, I think weightlifting and just like sweat it out. Sauna, I love sauna, so I do my best. So I just sit there and sweat it out, and meditate, guys, pray or whatever, you know, but you have to have a spiritual practice to ground you. You know, as a guy, I think we're very mind dominated, so, you know, it's like, gotta get out of there. Especially high accomplished, like high achieving people, right? Constantly go, 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 go. So take time to kind of slow down a bit, 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You know, it's part of self-care. And then follow your purpose. You have to have a purpose. That's part of self-care too. Like guys have to have purpose and things to pursue and follow. And this is something that I recently just come back into contact with, you know, like COVID's really make me think and look at myself and like, you know, what's happening with me? You know, where am I? What do I want to do? And what's my purpose now? So the podcast is an experience. I've been through something really tough last year. It's the toughest thing I've experienced my entire life. And from that, the podcasts come to life. From that, this happened. From that, the social media content and sharing and empowering people and finding out my purpose here and what I'm inspired to do. And so all of that is part of self-care. It doesn't neglect any. So it doesn't matter the content of it. Really, sure, parkour, avatars and movie makings and all that. At the end of the day, what are we doing with that stuff? You know? Are we uplifting people? Are we inspiring people? Are we sharing? Are we, you know, making the place we live a little better? You know, self-care. Yeah, but basic stuff, work out. Do something, walk, run, lift some weight, climb some trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about martial art. How has that changed your perspective? And specifically, what do you think about violence? And you train, you do things with your body that could be aggressive, or you could do all of that. How do you think about that as a man?
Well, for me at least, martial art, I approach martial art as a dance because I was inspired by Chien, you know. Jackie is a dancer, theater is martial arts. But I do also possess skill set that's like, oh, if things happen, I can take care of myself and at least buy some times and protect people as much as I can and throw some kicks and stuff. But yeah, it can be pretty dangerous if you haven't mastered your minds and haven't learned how to have a heart and be kind. Then it can be dangerous if you have that tool. It's like arming a kid with a teenager with guns. You know? So you gotta learn how to use it. But yeah, for men, I think most men who actually do appreciate and learn martial arts, if they have a good teachers, they are disciplined and they are taught to not use it to hurt people and stuff. But if people are just watching MMA and taking like, oh, I want to beat people up and so on, it can be dangerous. But man, if you are taking martial art and doing stuff like that, you have to have a spiritual practice to ground you and make sure that you come from a place of a beauty, of appreciation, not using it as a tool to hurt people, obviously. But you can protect if you need it to.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Chien, my last question, if you could do anything in life and money was not an issue, time was not an issue, what would you dedicate yourself to? What would you do?
What I'm doing now. I asked that question 10 years ago. What I'm doing now is looking to continuously putting in time and effort to uplift, empower people and play, dance and have fun, appreciate things along the way, spend time with family and create. Yeah,
awesome.
So I'm already doing that and I hope to continue to collaborate with people more like this to have a good times and make new friends, really.
That's awesome, man. I love it. Thank you so much for your time and your voice and your idea. So thank you so much, guys, for watching the episode. If you like this interview, check out this other conversation with my good friend, Reginald Stalin. He's a black belt in Krav Maga. He's an actor and a dear friend of mine, and I'm pretty sure you're going to love it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.